Just strap in and get ready.
The leaders in AFL Supercoach are incoming, helping you win your leagues and climb up the rankings.
You're now listening to the Insight AFL Show with your hosts, Big Horse and Skitty.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Insight AFL channel. I am your host, The Horse, and with me this evening is a man that introduced me to this format, and we got chatting over a couple of stubbies and a few stupid bets, and what started off, I guess, as a dream has now gone into something that you and I do weekly, and we're fortunate enough to have them as sponsors of the show. Sammy Baker, coach of Baker's Pups. How you doing?
Good, Horse. How are you, mate?
Oh, flying, mate. Friday afternoon, work's done for the week. Are you sipping on a tinny yet, or you waiting a little bit?
I'm actually at my local pub recording this.
The local? Yes, sir.
Yeah,
we love
local.
that. Yeah, it's what we do. We love to take things a little bit on the relaxation side when it comes to Friday afternoons here at Insight. But today we're doing a very special episode. One, because Draftstars have jumped on as a sponsor of the show. But two, we want to give you guys at home a bit of an insight as to how it works, how it operates, and how to maximize your chances at home to win some money occasionally, every day, depending on your footy knowledge, I guess, from the AFL side of things. But there's also plenty of other sports that we'll go into on the app. So before we start, Bakes, would you like to give the people at home a bit of a background as to how you came about playing Draftstars and your experiences with it?
Yeah, so like my experience.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Having issues with your audio, mate?
is it right? Yeah, maybe. I'm just fixing.
Okay.
Give me 2 secs.
That's all right. As Bakes tries to ring someone to fix some stuff up there, I'll go through the app.
Good. I think I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
I'm back.
Tell us about your experiences with Draftstars, mate.
So there used to be a competition called Moneyball, which was Draftstars before there was Draftstars, which is the exact same format, just a probably more poxy app and a bit more like basic setup. And then Draftstars come along, and me and my brother and one of our good mates, we all played it together, Moneyball. So we switched over to Draftstars. Just played it casually for a few years, had the odd win, maybe took down a couple of main slates, like maybe one a year each sort of thing. Thought it was pretty cool. Just enjoyed playing it, really. It made like a shit game of footy like St Kilda Carlton tonight interesting because you could pick a side and cheer for your players. And yeah, we just liked it. It was competitive, and you could win some decent money if you had a good night on it. So that was how it all started. And fast forward, after playing it for about 2 years, we sort of started to go a bit better at it, and we could play the double ups and sort of cover our costs most week and not really spend any of our own money playing it at a pretty competitive level. So then they made this thing called the Golden Ticket, which was really cool. It was a really cool system and idea and like a really cool product. So the first couple of years they did
the screen, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So the first couple of years they did it, they actually had like the event at Crown. And then the first one was at Crown. The second one was at a brewery. So if you qualified, you got to go to this massive event at Crown, and they paid for a night's accommodation at Crown Casino, and like it was a really cool thing. So we were more used to try qualify just for the night out. I think the first couple of times we qualified, might have been my little brother the first time we got in, and I went as his +1. I think he picked up like $8,000 that first time, and then
cool.
Fast forward maybe 2 or 3 years, they started doing these AFL Star qualifiers, which is a bit of a different concept because there's no end of year like party sort of celebration thing, but the prize money's gone through the roof. So, and we all care about the dollar. So, like this year's one's $1 million. I think last year's was 750. The year I come second, it was 500,000. What's that? Someone chatting to us, are they?
No, yeah, there's plenty of chat going on. Yeah. Keep going.
And then like they do it for the golf as well. So there'll be one for the Masters the other week. So there was like 10 tickets to qualify for that. They do it for the Big Bash. They do it for the NBA. So they're all obviously a little bit smaller amounts of money, like 50K and 80K and 100K and stuff. But still, if you get a ticket and you're a 1 in 10 chance at 15K, if that was what the golf one was this year, it's still a pretty cool thing. And it's kind of like buying a lotto ticket to qualify. Unless you're going to spend the $50 a week to go in the 1 in 100 one, you're going in a 1 in 1,000 competition. But for $5, like I've already hit once this year and I've already got one ticket. And like I'm only entering maybe 2 or 3 teams each slate. So like it's not costing me a large amount of money. And now I've got a ticket to the Tats Lotto competition at the end of the year where it's 250 people playing for $1 million.
That's awesome, isn't it? And we don't want to go too much into prize money that you may have won in the past, but would you say that you're up?
I don't think it'd be possible to be down horse. So from that one win and a couple other ones, I think I got, how like they send you your profit and loss statement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 6 figures. So I'm not doing too hard.
So, ladies and gentlemen, basically, if you've got a bit of footy knowledge and you like Bakes, you study the footy, you know your footy. Bakes, like me, we've been previous senior coaches in the past, mate. So you get a bit of an insight as to what happens on the footy field. You pick the right players and you can win yourself some really nice amounts of money from only a little input, can't you? Much less than a lotto ticket.
Oh, 100%. Like you can spend $50 a week or less and have like an interest over the whole weekend, like enter 15 different competitions. And I can run through today, if you want, like a couple of the ones that are really good for beginners to play. Like, because a lot of the main ones have the Sharks that enter 150 teams, and sometimes they're a bit hard to grab unless you have a good night out, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if you scroll down, Horse, just scroll down. I'll give them an example.
Yeah. Where do you want me to stop, mate?
On the lobby, just go down and see these ones with the upside, like looks like a pool ball setup. So see that one with the yellow, the green symbol that looks like a set of pool balls set up. After the name of the competition, there's a star and then there's like the little green triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those green triangles ban anyone that's overly successful at so I can't play those mini competitions. Anyone that's had over a $2,000-$3,000 win, they get like sort of excluded from them. So they're like a beginner setup. So they're really good. Like the AFL ones tonight, there's like an AFL Star Qualifier one.
Yep. I can see that there.
Ones. Yep. Yeah. So what happens with that one is if you win that, you go into a best of 16 competition with 16 other people that have just started playing for a golden ticket. So that's an awesome one to enter for $2. You're only playing against 150 people, and then you get to go through to like a satellite, which is like another level of qualifying. But for $2, that's an awesome way.
Hypothetically, you could pay $2 to go into this, move on. If you win that best of 16 competition, you go in with the chance to win $1 million or $250,000
for first, and guarantee yourself $1,000 minimum. So, like when I qualified the other week, I didn't realize that this year they're paying out minimum prize money as you qualify.
Yep.
So the next day, I had $1,000 in my Draftstars account just for qualifying.
How good's that?
So it then gives you a bit more ammo to keep trying to qualify over the next few weeks.
And as we can see on the screen here, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just privy to football. There's NRL, there's Greyhounds if you like your Greyhounds, there's basketball, you name it. They cover lots of sports. Yep. Golf,
like even
cricket, MLB.
The Saturday one, like if you want to have a bet on the horse on Saturday, you'd be nearly better off spending $15 with Draftstars. You get to watch every race and you've only spent $15 for the day, you know what I mean? If you're betting $10, $20 a race, you might be down 100 at the end of the day. Worst case, you're down 15 playing the Draftstars. Yep. And if you're only doing it for an interest, it's a good way to watch the horses for the day. For sure.
No wonder they're Australia's leaders in DFS in Australia and New Zealand, making it much easier for the consumer at home to Lockie Bramble responsibly. So what we're going to do, Bakes, is we're going to show the guys at home. So we're lucky here at Insight that each week we get to run our own competitions through Insight. So people who sign up through Insight get access to Insight-only competitions. And you get the chance to win. So I'm just going to share my screen. Has that come up all right? So we've got this is called the Insight-only competition. So Insight Fantasy Sports Friday Night Showdown between the Saints and the Blues. Do you just want to go through how it structures up and how you go about picking a side?
Yeah. So I do it really simply. So you've got it set on all at the moment. Go click on form.
Click on form.
Yeah, so that's the average of their last 3. So I like to start off by trying to find the value because value is more important than the highest score from the night. So finding someone that's a cheap price that's going to outscore what they're priced at. So if you scroll down a little bit here, like see Callum Wilkie, how he sticks out a little bit there. The bloke above him 16, the bloke below him 13, 14. Means the last few weeks he's outscored what his performance should be.
Okay, so we like him.
Well, we do, but not with tonight's matchup. But technically you would normally. So tonight you're going to pick Carlton Backman because the way the Saints set up, the Blues are going to get a chip around their back line all night. So keep going down. You'll find another one will pop you. So we don't like Bradley Hill either. Keep going. Yeah, there you go. So there's one was that an emergency or Mitch Owens at $8,000? Harry Boyd's an emergency.
Yep.
But see, Mitch Owens at 8,000. If he gets 66 tonight, he outperforms. He's probably like 4 times value on his price.
Yep.
So they're the sort of ones you've got to find. Start with going to the rucks because that's basically a flip of the coin tonight, unless you want to really try outthink the room, which I wouldn't recommend trying to do.
Yep.
So you can pick Lewis Young as a defender, which if you do like Lewis Young, that's what I'd suggest you do tonight. But you've got to pick one of the two ruckmen. The way I'd look at it is Tom De Koning's cheaper, and I think they're pretty even like around the ground and stuff like that. Do you have an opinion on that? Who's going to score more in Supercoach tonight, Horse?
Oh, I think it's going to be TDK. Yeah, I think Carlton at the G are much better than what the Saints are. Saints play Marvel, the smaller stadium or the smaller ovals pretty well, but on the wide open spaces of the G, I like TDK, mate.
Sweet, let's lock TDK in then. It's nice and
He's
easy.
in. So as you can see on the right here, he'll go into my ruck slot. Let's go to the defenders.
You've got like your average price that you can spend on your remaining players. So
you can see it here.
As everyone knows, halfbacks get a lot of kicks against St Kilda, so I probably wouldn't try outthink the room too much on that tonight. Who's the halfback you think will get the most for Carlton tonight, Horse?
Gee, it's hard to say, mate. Against St Kilda, Adam Sard, maybe? Adam Sard, Mitch McGovern.
What about kick-ins? Who's going to do kick-ins?
Who takes kick-ins for Carlton? Mitch McGovern does. Nick Haynes has gotten better as the season's gone on. Sam Doherty's been dropped. I don't really like Ollie Hollands, so it's probably between. Well, Jack Silvani's coming back from injury. That's that cross sign, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I'd probably say Sard.
So I like. Yeah. So
or you like Lewis Young?
I think Sard's a great one. I do, just because of his price. So So I if you want to go Sard and Lewis Young, I wouldn't be against that. I think that's a pretty good combination.
Yep. So then let's move into our forward one, or do you want to go the mids first?
No, go forward. That's the way I normally do it. I go forwards next. So I generally start by asking who's going to win the game. So do you tip Carlton tonight or Saints?
Yeah, I think Carlton win tonight. Yeah.
Okay. And do you think Charlie or Harry will kick the most goals?
Well, we know at Insight that we've had a little message that Charlie's only 50-50 for tonight. So I would say, if I had to guess, it'll be Harry. But here's something I want to ask you. So from a Supercoach point of view, because this is much different to the Supercoach element of scoring, Elijah Hollands is one that...
Yes,
what's that, sorry?
They use AFL fantasy scoring, not...
Yeah.
So they use...
Yeah. So Elijah Hollands getting 20 touches versus Harry Mackay kicking 3 goals. What's the difference there for you?
He takes big contested marks, like Harry's going to outscore him. But if Elijah Holland gets his 20 and he chip marks it a bit and kicks and marks, like their goal. So, pick Hollands and then maybe pick a small from either Carlton or St. Kilda. Like you probably want to go pretty cheapy because the mids are going to be pretty expensive if you want anyone decent, like a Corey Durden or a Will White would probably be what I'd suggest. Even Francis Evans, if you don't think he's going to be the sub.
No, I'm not a big fan of Francis Evans. So let's go Corey Durden. So now we can see here we've got 2 forwards, 2 defenders, 1 ruck, and we've got on average nearly $12,000 per player to spend on midfielders. Yeah.
So now I'd say Boxall's the lock tonight if he's not the sub.
Okay.
So get Boxall because he's really well priced and he can probably get you 70 or 80.
Yep. So we've got that now.
And then now like Hugo or 12. So you probably want to go one more cheapy and then you can pick 2 studs.
Okay.
I'd go down, probably pick between like Hugo, Darcy. What's Matthias Philippou priced at his first game back?
10. 10-6.
10.
First game back.
Do you like him or?
No, not in the first game back. He's missed all of the season so far. There's even a chance that he might be on managed minutes tonight. So for me, I don't think that's a play.
Yeah. My little brother tells me he's Jesus Christ reincarnated. So
does your little brother back to St Kilda?
Yeah, he loves him, adores him.
Yeah.
He's a troubled child. So Hugo or Darcy, I'd say, or Cooper Lord I don't know. Do you think if Harry is
Okay.
a bit sore, like does he?
I probably think Hugo's probably the pick of those. He's probably the one most likely to
Okay.
get the most amount of touches there.
Okay. Well,
So we'll go.
slap Hugo
And now
in
we've got
see what-
14-3 to spend on the rest of
Yeah, so you
our.
can sort of pick 2 starts. Yes.
Yep. So for me, I am a big Jack McRae fan, and his form the last couple of weeks has been sensational. So I don't think Carlton will send anyone to him.
Yeah.
What's that? Sorry.
No, they won't. I don't think. No, I don't think they'll send anyone to him either. I think he'll be fine to do his Jack McRae thing.
And then we've got one more.
The other thing with the other thing with picking Jack is how he's like 15-4, and you probably needed to pick your cheaper one first and then see what you could have afforded. Like do it backwards.
Yep.
But scroll down and see what you can get with what you got left.
Apparently, Brad Hill's outperforming his price right now. He has moved to halfback as well, Bakes. Marcus Windhager as well is playing off halfback wing if he's not tagging.
Yeah, if you can get him, you can then get anyone, but you kind of if Windhager or Brad Hill tick your boxes, grab him, or Blake Acres.
Where's Blake Acres? There he is. So now we've got 16-6. So we can basically pick anyone now. You
so Jack or George, or Chris. That's probably too much to leave over. Normally, like if I had that much left over, I'd identify someone in my list and pick them out. To upgrade.
What's your ideal amount of money if it's not 0 to have left over, or do you not worry about money left over?
Anything less than 1,000 is okay. I find, but sometimes like even leaving this amount over isn't a bad thing in a single game slate. It's probably more when you get to multiple game slates where $1,000 could be better spent. But sometimes it's just not a better option. And if you've got the 5 or 6 players that you want, sometimes it's just not a better way to spend it. And you can be spending more but getting a worse player. You know what I mean? Like you could upgrade Hugo, but you might be getting better value for them what you want. Yeah,
that's right. So. Yeah, I don't think I can really go anywhere from Hugo here. I could go Hugo up to Windhager, but that's about it. Hugo up to Bradley Hill. I don't actually mind that. Yeah. I might do that.
Okay. And then that'll get you 100,000, I think.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, so that's a fine amount. That's 99% of your budget spent, so that's fine. You probably just need Jack McRae and Tom Buchanan to be the 2 highest scorers on the ground.
Yep.
Blake Acres, you nearly get to 100, and then all your other sort of cheaper value players all sort of have good nights. Be very competitive, I reckon.
What sort of average are you looking at, Bakes, for? So you've got your elite players in this. You've got your TDKs, you've got your Jack McRae's, who you would hope would score 100. So with our games last night, my lowest scorer, I think, was Nick Dacos in the end. Like I was just fortunate enough to have a really good night. But what are you expecting your lower price players to average in order for you to be competitive?
So Corey Durden at 6'8", if he gets 60 points, he's hit value, so that's fine. Probably don't want anyone scoring less than 50 because if someone scores less than 50, you're probably going to struggle to be competitive. But as long as your cheapies can score over 60, I generally reckon you're fine.
Yeah, okay. Don't mind that, mate. So
if you want to,
ladies and gentlemen, say if we've bought, this is the team that I'm going to create for tonight, hypothetically. You go to submit lineup. I'll take it out. I've got $20 bonus bet sitting there, so I'll take it out of the bonus bets. Cool.
Yeah. So then if you click join more, horse, click join more. I'll just show you a couple of the competitions that I'd suggest, like if they're new to it or they haven't played much, that they'd enter.
Let's go for
it. $5 AFL. Sorry?
Yeah, go for it. This one here.
So that $5 AFL star one, that's the best way to try win a ticket to the big dance.
Yep.
So you just click a plus sign over there on the right to add one entry to that. And then you might spend the $2 on the satellite one as well.
Yep.
And then
if you click those plus signs, does that mean the entry I just put in goes back into there?
Entry.
Or do I have to go in and create my team?
No, that enters this team that you've just selected into that competition.
Okay.
So it saves selecting it again and again and again. So then if you go down, so see there's that $2 mini. So if I was looking to spend like another $10, I might put 2 teams in that, a couple of teams in the micro, and then maybe like one team in that $5 entry, single entry one. Because they're all the ones with that like that green triangle, which means it's only beginners only. So like you're not going to get any of the sharks like mass entering and making it hard.
Put one of them in there. Yep.
Yeah. So also to keep going down.
Yep.
A really cool thing they've made over the last couple of years are these high roller qualifiers.
Okay.
So for $5, you can enter this, and if you win it, you earn a $150 ticket to tomorrow's contest. So the high roll is a $150 contest where they play for like thousands because say 50 people in all at 150. First prize is often 2, 3, 4 grand. So for $5, if you can beat 30 other people, you then have a ticket into the high roll the next day and get to play against all the big dogs, and they're no better than any of us on a single game slate where they've only got one entry.
Gotcha.
And you can have a crack at a lot of money for a pretty cheap fee.
Gotcha.
And then the $15 one, all the difference is there is that it's less people. So you've only got to beat 10 other people to get the ticket there.
Where's that?
All these double up ones, they're all. So if you go up a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, so that one there, the $15 high roll, you've only got to beat like 10 people and you'd have a high roller ticket for the Sunday.
Wow. Okay.
So you're winning a $150 ticket and you've only got to beat 10 people. And for $15, it's not a bad sort of. If you really like your team, it's worth entering a couple of these. The other one that sometimes can just cover your costs for the night and make it so that you break even if your team doesn't win is just these double ups. So you've only got to beat half the field to get your money back doubled. So you put $20 in. If you beat half the field, you get 40 back. So you've only got to beat half them home and you get like your $40 back, which is like a decent way just to keep your account sort of going along nicely if you think you've got a decent team.
Yep.
The triple ups, they pay out the top third. That's the only difference really from a triple up to a double up. They pay out the top third instead of the top half, but you triple your money instead of doubling it. So I often enter like if I make one team tonight, I'll put them in a few of these double and triple ups just to cover costs if I finish like midfield or like in the top 1,000, but not going to make any serious money.
Yeah, gotcha. Now we've got over 100 people in the live right now listening to you, so they're obviously loving what you bring into Insight, but also the knowledge behind Draftstars. James P wants to know tomorrow what percentage do you reckon Archer Day Wicks will be owned?
Is he a sub risk?
It's got him starting on ground right now.
What were his VFL points like? I haven't really.
Yeah, he's been doing well in the VFL. Yeah,
like
he's probably going to play as a. Yeah, I'd say about that. I reckon he's been kicking goals, but he's also been getting a few touches as well. So
like 15, 20 or 20, 25?
No, like 15, 20. Yeah. So at AFL level, you could probably bank him for 12 to 15 touches.
Yeah, so he's going to be rock bottom. He's going to be 6,000. It's probably, I'd say, anywhere between 20 to 40% owned if he's not the sub, because he's only got to score 60 points and he's going to hit value and be pretty handy because he's such a low price that then allows you to spend up on the studs. So yeah, no, 20 to 30 to 40%.
Yep. Kizza rates that you're live from the pub.
Yeah, the UK hotel in Bendigo.
Get around it. He's probably watching a race. Yeah, I reckon that your Wi-Fi was struggling before because you're watching a race before or while you're trying to talk to us.
Oh, mate, I can only do one thing at the time.
And just saying that this is why we turn the noties on. Love the banter while working. Outstanding. G'day, Ange.
Hey, Ange.
The Maverick as well. If you love your NFL, he gets right around the Draftstars on the NFL as well. Our lead analyst on the Insight Network for all things NFL. Kizza reckons that it's pretty disappointing that he hasn't heard you swear yet, but I don't mind that.
Just behaving today, Kiz.
Yeah. It's one of those off days. James, you want your players drafted to 10 times their price. So if 6K, you want 60 fantasy points. If at 14K, you want them to score 140. Is that around about what you think?
Yeah, but the more the price goes up, the less that is. Like I'd say like those 14K ones, you times them by like 8 or 9. Whereas those lower price ones, yeah, it's a really good system to work with. If they're 6,000, they can get you 60. If they're 7,000, they get you 70. That's really good. Like that'll hit 5 times value.
Yep. So with the Insight Fantasy Network, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a member, the link is in the description below. You can go into these Insight Fantasy only competitions where you go up against other people from within the Insight community. Last night we had, was it 20 odd in there? So
yeah, I'd encourage anyone anyone who's new to the game to try the one that you set up every Thursday or Friday. Because Draftstars are guaranteeing the prize money on that, you're getting really good value for money. Like, say there was only 15, 20 of us last night. We all paid $10. Well, there was only 200 in prize money put into the pool, but they were guaranteeing it to be 250. So there's basically $50 thrown in there for free. So, yeah, I think the more people you can get in that on a Thursday or a Friday, that'll really help build up that. Which is really good.
100%. And the good thing is with the 20 people that were involved last night, I think it was 6 or 7 people won prize money as well. So it's almost half the field are getting more than their money back. So if you do like the occasional punt, and we do remind you to lock your bramble responsibly at home, you need to, you don't need to. Come and have a try. Link is in the description below. Archie Wicks is averaging almost 66 fantasy points in the VFL and has had 28 in one of his 5 games. 28 touches, that is.
Yeah, that's fine. I couldn't see a reason he wouldn't score 50 or 30.
Yeah. Geez, this Baker's pup guy knows his stuff. Has Deadly paid his debt off to you?
Yeah, I'm drinking one of them right now. Fucking delicious too, Deadly.
Oh, and he's dropped the F-bomb. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Just for kids.
How nice does success taste?
Especially when Deadly buys them. Geez, they're tasty.
Oh, unreal. Have a look at him. How's the team looking in Supercoach so far this year anyway, mate?
I've traded heavy, but I'm winning lots, so I don't know how that stacks up. I'm going pretty well. I think I'm like 3,000 or 4,000 overall. Okay. And I'm in the top 4 or 5 in most of my leagues, but I've traded heavy to get there. So
okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully it sticks fat, mate. What if there was one bit of advice that you'd like to pass on to our Insight community when they are playing Draftstars? What would it be?
Yeah. Go with because obviously everyone who's going to play knows a little bit about footy. Go with your gut, because especially with the ones that have got 4,000 entries or 1,000 entries, it's the one person who picks the bloke that just explodes out of nowhere for the day. If you've got a little theory that the Saints might beat the Blues tonight and some Jack Higgins is going to have a night out, well, pick Jack Higgins, because just go with what you like. Don't follow the crowd, because following the crowd's not going to win you a competition. Throw in a few curveballs in there and also draw a bit of a plan to how you think the game's going to go. Don't just pick a team randomly. If you think the St Kilda halfbacks are going to get a heap of kicks tonight, and if it's going to be a blowout or it's going to be a close game or there's going to be a lot of ruck contests, actually have a bit of a thought about what you think the game's going to look like and then build your team around that. Don't just randomly pick players. Actually think how you think the game's going to go and what's going to happen because of that.
Yep.
Say a game at Ballarat, pick the contested ball winners, or a dry day at the MCG, you want to pick your fast-running kick mark guys. That would be my suggestion. Just pick how you think the game's going to go. Go in with a bit of a plan.
So I've just gone into my side here, mate, before we do wrap it up. And let's say I've picked my team. I'm pretty happy. As we saw before, there's already 6 of our 20 that have entered our league. So be quick if you'd like to enter. The link is in the description below, and then let me know if you'd like the league code. Say, worst case scenario, Corey Durden gets named sub, and I need to change him. What do I do?
Yep. So if you do it before the game, all you do is click that red X.
This one? Yep.
So if it's a Saturday slate, say for example, and Corey Durden was in one of the late games, but your team gets locked as soon as the first game starts.
Yep.
There's also a function where if you go to my contest and pick player swap, you can then swap him for a player that's a lower price. So just because he's a laid out or he's made the sub doesn't mean you can't change it. But tonight you just click the red X before the game starts.
So say it's a Sunday slate or a Sunday slate. If you want to change a player in the second game. What's that?
You just go my contest, then you go players.
My contest.
Yep.
And then you'll click.
You don't have a live contest.
Not yet.
And you'll click on it. It'll say player swap. So in the live section, it'll say player swap, and then you can just select that player that's either the sub or out, and pick a player for less value.
It is important, however, that the people at home know that when you do a player swap, but the first game has already started, like you said earlier, you can only swap to a player of equal value or lower, even if you've got the funds in the bank.
Yeah, you can't use your money in the bank. That disappears, sort of. You can only go lower or,
Hurls has got a good one. I noticed in multiple entry games, Bakes enters same team multiple times. Is that advised so you win more, or should you pick a few different types of teams for different game styles?
Nah. So because our comp's such a small entry price, I was just trying to boost up the numbers in it, and so I just spent $30 and put the same team in 3 times. So yeah, if I did win, obviously I was going to win all the first 3 prizes. Which is if you like your team, that's the best way to play it instead of making 3 teams. Like making 3 teams is a fair bit of work, So I normally make one team that I really like and then spend a fair bit of money on that. And then I might make a few more additional teams in like the $5 golden ticket comp. But mainly I'll just make my one main team for the day and enter that in lots of things. And then maybe make a couple of extras in some other things. But mainly I just like to make that one main team and then enter that in whatever I'm in. And it's more just to boost up the entries. So it looked like we were getting like more people involved and stuff. I got you.
Hey, Deadly, you know what I'm going to do for Bakes? Because it looks like he's doing it hard, drinking those single fins that he won in a bet with you. I might have to send him a standard squeeze pack so then he's got a 4-in-1 to hold that single fin in. What do you reckon? You happy with that, Bakes?
Yeah, more than happy. Yep. I'm still waiting on one from that podcast with Shagger. So are you going to send 2 or just 1?
No, I'll send 2. Didn't you get yours? I sent it to Shagger.
Nah. Of course you did. That'd be right. Look after the celebrity, not the old poor bloke in Bendigo.
Yeah, 100%. You're already going to make enough slabs out of me by the end of the year. So
yeah, there's a few coming, isn't there?
There's a couple. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do us for this evening. So if you'd like to get involved in Draftstars, as we've said plenty of times throughout this show, the link is in the description below if you're not a member. If you want to be part of our leagues, hit us up on X or within our Patreon. We do have our league links in there. They are $10 to join. That's right, $10, and you've got the chance on Thursday nights. There's guarantees prize money, so you can win more than what there is put in by the group of people that are in that league for you guys at home. And like last night, there was almost 50% of the crew that won at least their money back or more. So there's plenty of chances for you to win money. Again, though, you lock your gamble responsibly and you only gamble within your means. So if you can't afford to bet, we highly encourage you don't. And if there's a difference or if there's the option between you having a bet and putting food on the table, you're putting food on the table first, because even though we're very thankful that Draftstars are here and sponsoring us this year, your health and your welfare is more important than that. So while we do like to pump up our partners and our sponsors at the same time, mental health and your welfare is most important also. Bakes, thanks for joining us, mate.
No dramas, mate. Thanks for having me.
No, you're a good man, mate. This will be on YouTube for those that have missed out on this to watch prior to tonight's contest, but also in the weeks to come. So if you'd like to go back and see how Bakes goes about it in creating a strong team for tonight and how you can apply that to games, teams, and what have you in leagues to come, then by all means, go ahead. Give us a like, subscribe, and bell. We call it being the triple banger. If you're listening to us on audio, give us that 5-star review, and we will catch you on Sunday night for our review show. We'll catch you then.
Perfect. See you, mate. Thank you.